4. 3.
Say it, please. 2.
2.
Contrast that to what you said earlier about Choke feeling like it was written just for you. What really tapped into your emotions about that role?
I think my forte as an actress is going to that ugly, dark side and still seeing the light and the beauty. I guess it's dark comedy is my forte. And I was blessed with this role, letting me just let it rip.
On Choka, let's take it now to Shane. Shane, talk about creating your character for this movie.
Well, okay, I've played the character in other films that I made a long time ago, but this was more like Greg's totally new interpretation of him. And I don't know. I think I was in a very dark place. I was pretty fucked up when we made the movie. I don't know if anyone could tell, but I was kind of just using that as all my motivation. So like every time I was like choking somebody, I just pretended like I was killing people who were really on my mind, that were really pissing me off. I don't know. I don't know where my head was at when we did that. I just was going along with Greg. And I remember like the first scene in Choke was the scene with Lisa, and I was supposed to be very emotional. And so that I would think was some of my best acting, only because it was at the beginning of the shoot when I was the most fucked up. I think being on the film set kind of got me over a lot of my personal issues. So I think maybe my acting wasn't as good towards the end or something. But that scene, I remember playing this music to try and get into this emotional state. The music from that Arrival movie, which I thought was just heartbreaking. I remember when I saw the movie, the first minute I was crying because of the music. So I had that music playing right before we did the scene. And I was really fucked up from my personal life. So I think that was the best scene as far as my performance. I was actually really impressed when I read the script. I wasn't sure, honestly, what to expect when you sent the script. And then I was like, wow, this is not how I ever pictured the character, but I can totally see this being the character, as in the porn star killer movies, you only see him when he's what he wants you to see. You know, you only see him from his video diary perspective of himself, versus now this is us seeing him from how he really is, you know, versus how he sees himself when he's committing these crimes. And so I thought that was actually never how I pictured him, because he's very remorseful, which I never pictured him as being really remorseful. And he actually has feelings and he actually cares. And I never would have thought of that. So I thought that that was actually something I would never have come up with for him, but I thought it was actually very awesome. And I think Choke was probably, you know, the best thing I've ever done as far as like with that character for sure, but also just as an actor, you know.
Right. So more insight on the Brandon character for yourself, but also, yeah, I thought your acting, when we watched your acting was great in that, in Choke.
Yeah, I thought it was the best that I'd ever done. I mean, normally, I've worked on like 100 films, and I always hate seeing my scenes, because I always hate watching my films as a director, and then as an actor, I always hate when I come on screen. I'm always like, you know, like I always cringe, and this was the first time where I didn't cringe that much. So it was, I actually felt like I did a decent job for most of it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, I think, but you're fantastic in that. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I was fucked up enough to actually be able to act. I think I used, like I said, real life inspiration to just feel into that character.
So I'm kicking it over to Scott now. Now your character has another. Your character in Choke takes kind of a 180, similar to how Shane's character does. Can you talk a little bit about putting yourself in that headspace?
Yeah, it was interesting kind of coming up with character because I've gone through sort of phases in my life that were a little bit, had echoes of what the script was about. And because the script read very much as quite abstract in the way things were happening, you weren't quite sure when and where things were happening, in what order. It kind of, to me, sort of resembled a lot of like David Lynch's movies and how like dreams and nightmares kind of play out. So I actually, in preparation for the role, I threw away a lot of my acting process. For example, the things that I didn't do for the first time in any film is to do, you know, a moment before, what my objective was. There's a lot of things I threw out because what I did was I tried to play it in such a way that would tonally shift through the film, that didn't fully connect up, but it was your own interpretation of where my character was going. I didn't want to make that too literal. So that was something I did, and I just, my script was completely unmarked, which I never do. I always have it marked. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because all the films I've done have always been, you know, very sort of straightforward arcs and stories, which are wonderful to play with and to put yourself into it. But I'm a huge fan of abstract, surreal movies like Mulholland Drive and Eraserhead, and you know, there's so many that I just love, and it's actually a genre that I want to start shooting myself for things, for scenes, and for writing.
You just gotta go to the moment on the day.
Yeah, exactly. You do. So yeah, as far as the 180, I just let the story take me there. It was sort of the spiral of this descent of not knowing if he was there. Was Dahlia really a part of life? Is he starting to doubt that? You know, I wanted to leave all of that kind of just sort of spiraling into like, you know, just fog, you know, and it was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it. And I watched the movie all the way through a few days ago, and it was, everyone did such a fantastic job. It was a fascinating film to work on. I'm super proud to work on it. Thank you, Greg.
Talk first to us about making something as really, you know, emotionally ringing as Choke.
Okay, first off, I really want to say hi. Just so much.
Hola.
I'll say a quick thank you. Sorry, Mark. I will get to your question. Sherry, thank you so much for signing me. Honestly, this is my first feature I've ever worked on was Choke. I'm going to start to cry. I really became family. You made it so comforting. I was so nervous. Sherry, thank you so much for picking me up that day. I was still in school, and Sherry saw me, and she was like, oh, put a star next to your name. I was like, oh, that must mean something. And later on, she signed me, and she's been amazing, and I absolutely love you, Sherry. And Lisa, thank you so much for, you know, sharing the love and just sticking your neck up for all of us and actors and getting me the audition. And Sherry, thank you. Greg, you guys are amazing. I absolutely love you both. You're both great directors, amazing people, just phenomenal. Chris, thank you for keeping us all sane on set. And smile. It always made my day so much. And making movies, it was great.
Yes.
And Shane and Scott and Lisa getting to Nicole getting to act, and everyone else pretty much that I acted with, Sage, getting to act alongside you guys and just see you guys work is inspiring and amazing and just makes me want to work that much harder and that much more. And I just can't wait to make more movies, and I want to act with all of you again. And you know, you guys are all so amazing and as people and as actors, so very talented. So thank you for letting me be a part of these. I'm really honored.
Mr. Johnny Mask, if you're still with us.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Honey.
Okay, well, because now I want to hear from you in the sense that you had a long association with another very prolific individual whom Greg has really taken up the legacy of, and that is Amir Shervan. How would you compare his filmmaking process to Greg's?
Well, they're both very guerrilla. They both are very innovative, and they both make use of what they have, both in terms of the actors and whatever set or costume is there. They do make use of it, whether it's legal or not.
You can answer this any way you like, but what would you say is the experience you like more, working with Greg or working with Amir?
Well, Greg is sitting there listening. How could I say otherwise? But actually, I enjoy working with Greg. I'm looking forward to.
Well, it's not like you don't like one or the other. It's like Elvis and the Beatles. You like both, but never equally.
I think Greg has a tendency to bring better things out of me. Amir had me running around shooting. I shot Stuart Whitman. I got shot. I fell in the river. That was kind of fun. But I like it where Greg actually gives me something to say and lets me take it from there. Like in Choke, I waited all day, and then he came up and said, you know, now I want you to just say that you really want to have this accomplished, and please, please let me do it. And that's all he said, and it was so fun to sit there choking myself and saying, please, please, I know I can do it, I can do it.
I'm going to take it over to, I'm gonna take it to Sage next because she's also been waiting a while. If you can talk about your performance in Choke.
Okay. First of all, Sarah's like such a sweet pea, and she's like so talented, obviously. It was really hard to beat the crap out of her, but we gotta do what we gotta do as actors. And I was in my house where, you know, I'd beaten the crap out of my husband, so it came easy.
On location in your house.
Yeah, I know. No, it was so interesting because Greg and Chris made it so easy. They just, you know, say, you know, obviously direct. And it was just it's such smooth sailing, and they were just so cool and chill that it just was easy to naturally beat the crap out of Sarah, who is left now because she's afraid of me.